Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Through Black and White Eyes again. Literally 45 minutes ago, I was live, and now I'm live again. Wow, mental. I don't know why I do this, but it's because of the love of John. This is why I do it. Oh man, I love it. I can't wait. It's two Sleep Still Derby day. But we're obviously going to have to talk about the last week. I'm going to find out what John's been doing at Christmas. We've got Chris on the show as well, who last time he was driving, so he wanted to come back on and have a more easier conversation than having to watch his missus drive and not kill him. I'm only joking. Women are great drivers. Some of them. I can't drive. I don't even know why I'm saying shit like that. Let's bring John in first. John, it's been so long.
Hey, how you doing?
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, the last time we spoke was just before Christmas, doing this. So it has been a little while. Family all well?
Oh, yeah, we had a good time. I had the grandson up here for the first visit, and we put the tree up. We got your ornament up there near the top. So, yeah, that was nice. That was nice. Thank you very much for that. It was great. It was great. Except I had that cough. I had that cough ever since I left Newcastle.
Still?
Yeah, I gotta go see the doctor. I mean, I'm good now. Yeah. I feel pretty good, but every so often I'll just get that cough again. I hope you didn't get sick.
No, I was fine.
Good.
I had the flu in October, November. So I think my immunity was up to date with what was going around. So I think I was all right.
I got the flu shot and I got the COVID shot right before I came over, about 2 weeks before, and then I got something after that Chelsea match. The weather got real cold, and I don't know what it was, but it knocked me down for a while. But I had a good time in Newcastle, and then I had a great time with the family here. I just like to relax around the holidays, and I start reading and just getting away from everything. But I'm ready now. I'm ready to come back. I'm ready for the games to start.
I love it. Massive shout out to Ian, who messaged saying he's watching the show. He does podcasts with Rainey, who does a non-league show. So welcome to watching Through Black and White Eyes, Ian. I hope you enjoy the show. He messaged me on Twitter, so I thought I'd give him a shout out. Why not? Chris, how's it going, pal? Look at that beautiful house in the background.
Yeah.
You in Hogwarts?
It's a castle.
Hey, I'm the king of backgrounds, man. I can switch my backgrounds at any moment in time. So, but thanks for bringing me in, Baz. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I'm not driving this time, so I'm good.
Yeah, everything sounds good. My connection side of things has been poor all night, but the weather's been absolutely shocking in York. So if I don't hear something, I might have to ask you to say it again, and that'll wind everyone who's watching, because they can probably hear you perfectly. But sometimes I've got a bit of an issue. But we'll get there. Quickly, don't forget to subscribe, guys. Hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to go and check out Chris's channel. I'll get it into the description after the show. I haven't had a chance to update it yet because I've been at work. Don't forget about our amazing sponsors, Diet Crow, amazing little family-run company in America who ship all over the world. We've got some great Newcastle clobber, and it's 20% off for everyone who watches our channel. And even better news, we've got football prizes on board now. They are sponsoring me £100 a month, and that £100 is going straight back to you guys. Literally straight back to you in prizes. So now is the best time to be a member, because the prizes are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger all the way through the months that are coming. Lee says I'm on time. You are, Lee. You've made it. Even Olin, welcome back, John.
Yeah.
Please like, subscribe, and share to your socials to help the channel grow. Super chats are available in the bottom right-hand corner. I'm getting used to this now. It's the left, but it's the right on the screen. So if you want to donate tonight, please do so. And as I said, money goes back into the channel. And it's amazing we've got a new one on board. There's Ian. I was on Chris's show last week and was brilliant. Big shout to John and great show, Baz. Thanks, Ian. Really appreciate it.
Ian's great.
I hope you do enjoy it.
I met Ian on one of my trips. He's great.
Good.
Him and his buddy.
Yes. So we are going to have to talk about the Liverpool game. I know I don't want to. Nobody wants to. But do you know what I mean? They're just a bunch of divers, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Jota swimming lessons.
No doubt.
They perfected swimming.
How about
they have perfected the art of a dive from wherever they are on the pitch. I mean,
how about taking three or
funny.
four extra steps and then taking a dive?
Yeah, that's what kills me, man.
That was ridiculous.
Garth Crooks sums it up perfectly. 20 years ago, you had to be assaulted in the box to get a penalty. Now you only need to act like a dying swan. He couldn't have put it any better, could he? And do you know what it is? We got battered.
Yeah,
but sure. We stuck in the game. We defended our hearts out. Dubravka played the best game I've ever seen him play since his debut against Man United, when he was fantastic that day as well. He kept the clean sheet. Obviously, he didn't keep the clean sheet this time, but it's not his fault, really. But that dive, not only did it hurt because it killed the game for us, but it went to VAR. VAR is meant to be eradicating poor decisions. Now, the referee was miles away. He was still in the Liverpool half when he gave that penalty. Because when that ball got played through, I saw the referee trying to get to the halfway line. Never mind anywhere near the box to see the tiny little collision from Dubravka's arm onto Jota's foot, apparently. But isn't there a rule of significant contact that has to bring a player down before you can give a penalty? And that, to me, was not significant contact, because as Chris and John, you so rightly pointed out, he took 3 steps before he went down.
Yeah.
How can you give that? How can you say the referee made the right decision? I don't get it. You first, Chris. You tell me what you think of the situation.
There's no look. I've been conversating with Liverpool fans, and they say, "Well, were you really going to win or tie that game? Do you really believe that?" It's not about that. It's about, you can't take my hope away. I had hope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I never thought that Botman was going to score, and he did, and so he made it a game. And when you call a penalty like that, when you give a penalty to Liverpool like that, I mean, you're taking my hope away, my chances. It doesn't matter if I'm going to tie or win. It doesn't matter. You can't do that. You can't call a penalty like that. I mean, this the simple fact: 3 steps, and then he remembers he's supposed to fall, and he goes to the ground. It's nonsense. And Anthony Taylor, man, he's been doing this for a long time, and I just don't get it. You know what I mean? And it's also the Premier League. I mean, I will say that I thought against Wolves, he gave us a penalty that maybe wasn't warranted. Some people will say yes, and they demoted him. So they thought he did wrong, and they demoted him. And the next week they gave him the feature match of the week, Manchester City Chelsea. So how do you do? It just doesn't make sense. So I don't know, man.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Chris. So that doesn't fix anything when you suspend somebody and then you bring them back later. It's like you have to fix it right then. You have to fix it during the game. If you go to VAR and people come up with the same solution, it's like there's something really, really wrong. You really don't see that kind of stuff in American sports. You see a bad call, but they go to the replay and everybody knows. It's like, oh no, they got that wrong.
There's a fear of being right, and in VAR and refereeing nowadays, like they don't want to call it for what it is because of it's at Anfield, the crowd is going to be against them, and then and I like to say that they're just not there. I mean they're just not good, but because to say corruption and all that stuff, I have no proof. I mean I can't.
Well, no one has any proof of that, do they?
Right.
But if you put all the decisions that go against the top 6 or go for the top 6, it always seems to be heavy loaded to the top 6, especially when they're at home, because for some reason they don't want to rile the crowd up. But the crowd's there to watch the game, not to referee the game. It's up to the referee to be strong. If he goes to Old Trafford, if he's at Anfield, if he's at the Etihad, if he's at the Arsenal's Emirates, he has to be strong on that pitch and give the right decision, regardless of who it's for or who it's against.
Yeah, you almost feel like Newcastle, and it's almost going to. It kind of seems like I'm playing victim in this case, but it almost feels like if you're a Newcastle player or team or whatever, you have to play your best game ever and have everything going for you to get that game. And I'm not even asking for favors in return. I'm just asking for referees to do their job. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's all.
Fair.
That's it. And listen, and we play
fair.
horrible. We play horrible. I mean, you got, that's also a big factor.
I don't think we played horrible. I don't think we played horrible. I thought Liverpool were just better. I thought we stayed in the game and we created some good chances. If Isak had just been a fraction the other side, we would have scored. We could have been winning that game, couldn't we?
There's a play by Almiron that
let's not go with that one.
Yeah, man, it was just like, it makes me question Almiron. In the beginning of the season, I was all for him, but man, sometimes you got to realize you got to play for the team. You're not going to score a Hail Mary every single time. You got to think, and there was like 2-3 players that after he attempted that wild shot, they were telling him, look, I'm open. Give me the ball. So we have
I saw that, and it was Bruno and Longstaff on the edge of the box. And you know what it is? If I was Miggy, I would have shot. Right. Because those two can't hit a barn door either.
Yeah.
Well, how about a positive that we almost got? Dan Burn header. And
what a header.
Wasn't it Miley that just lofted it right up there to him? I think it was Miley.
It was not Gordon, because Gordon was on free kick duty.
Are you talking about the one that got annulled?
The corner. Corner. And
no, that's the one Botman got in. But what?
Oh, sorry, the Dan Burn one. The Dan Burn one in the first half. Yeah, when that was on Miley's little flick over.
Miley just put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah.
Oh man. I mean, we had a few chances. We really did.
Well, and actually, I want to correct myself because I said that we played horribly. I think that we did what we went there to do. If you really think about it, because we weren't going to be the most offensive team in the world against them in their field. I mean, we went there to hold back, see what happens, and get them on the counterattack, and we did that. We certainly did that. That goal that was canceled was one of those plays. The Isak goal was. That man just he needs one shot and you just got to give him a nice ball. You don't even have to give him the ball with the open open goal. You just basically just give him something to work with and he'll make it happen, So but yeah, man.
It was Gordon for the corner and Butman's header. I thought I was right for that, but the Dan Burn one you're talking about was definitely Miley, and it was a great move as well. It was just a shame that Isak was just slightly offside again. But with Butman's header was another high, because how many times have we watched corners and free kicks go in and we've all said, why are we not attacking the ball properly? Why have we got Botman, Shaw, Dan Burn, and we cannot score from free kicks? Yeah. And then the way Botman attacked it and the look in his face and in his eyes, that is mine.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He just rose, boom.
Yeah.
I've not seen a header like that since Alan Shearer, to be honest with you.
I thought we were going to tie that game when that went in.
Attacking the ball. Or Rondon used to attack the ball very well, didn't he? No one spoke about how good Isak's goal was, by the way. Yes, and I did a review of the game, and that was basically the highlight of my video, was how good Gordon was when he got moved to the left-hand side. He cut inside 2 players, and his pass was just the dream pass, really, for Isak to run onto, because it was weighted perfectly. He let it run across his body. No one was getting near him, and his finish was beautiful, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, he's so good at. He's very good.
He just needs opportunities, man. That's all. I think he's the second best striker in the league. So I mean, behind Haaland, and some people might even have a different liking. So that's up for debate. But I mean, you just got to give him an opportunity, and he'll make it happen. And that's something that we really don't lately. We haven't been taking advantage of. To be fair, but
definitely. I mean, Lee says that Gordon looks tired, and I need to put this to rest. Gordon was not tired against Liverpool. Gordon was using his energy at the right times because he knows he's not 100% fit. He's not tired. He's still coming back from injury. So he was using his sprints when he needed to, wasn't he, John?
Well, I guess the point he's making is it doesn't look like he's full 100%
he's not yet. Because of the injuries,
Yeah. And that's a shame, because he's a terror out there when he's fit, and but he's still very valuable,
I mean, that says it. 7.7 rating against Liverpool after getting beat 4-2 is the second highest rated player in the Newcastle team. Dubravka got an 8.7. So And
that's pretty amazing.
The next,
I happen to agree that I think he looks like he's at 85% or 90%, you know.
but I think he was getting back to his best. He's
Yeah.
just starting to wind it back up again. He just needs a few more, possibly maybe another week, another 2 weeks, and then I think he's back to his best again. But that was the elephant in the room. A lot of them, we need players back.
Yeah.
But that's obviously capped off, a pretty poor Christmas for us in New Year. To be fair, getting beat off Luton and Forest as well was just God.
But that was the thing though. That those two were the games that were going. If we were favorites, if we would have won those two games, we would be in a different situation right now. Because this month is going to be a tough month. We knew that.
Yeah, we did.
So the table is what worries me.
Well, I think most of our fans look at it differently. I think every game they think, okay, well, next week we'll start our run. And it's like, I looked at that January schedule and I said, it might not happen in January.
No.
It might not happen.
No.
Now, hopefully we beat Sunderland, but it might not happen that we start turning it around. Towards the end of the month, though, we get some players back, hopefully, and we get a little bit more rest in between games. So, I mean, things are looking up for February, if you ask me.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it's been a dreadful Christmas year. I mean, there's no masking over it. But we've got a derby to look forward to. Nobody saw this coming. Yeah. I've been praying for the last 4 or 5 years that we get Sunderland in a cup. I don't care what cup it was, that we get Sunderland in a cup. And we've finally done it. I cannot wait for this. This is just going to be immense. I'm on night shift tomorrow night. I'm going to be getting in Saturday morning. I'm not going to bed because if I sleep and I miss it, I will be absolutely gutted.
Yeah.
But it's a 12:45 kickoff. It's at the stadium of shite. And they've scored a massive own goal today, haven't they? Their own fans are going
I wanted to ask you guys about that because what is that about? Like, did they let a Newcastle fan in there?
That's the hospitality area for some of the Sunderland fans because it's their part of the stadium normally.
Right.
Away fans don't normally get anywhere near this area, but because the 7,000 Newcastle fans going, we've got a section of the stadium that's normally reserved for their home fans. So what they did is, and I mean, it's a clever move, in a way, is that they took down all the Sunderland signs, which you would do because Newcastle will just destroy them. But what they did, they went the extra mile and are literally rolling the red carpet out for Newcastle fans. They're putting up signs. I can't believe it. Gary said it perfectly. It's like us putting a picture of Alan Shearer missing a penalty against Sunderland and having laughing emojis all around it and saying, come on, Sunderland fans, come to St James's Park. We don't care, that you're our biggest rival and we hate you. You come on in. And this one was the top one, though. So if you had to zoom in on this, and I didn't read it very well, and someone pointed it out to me, that actually says cheer up Peter Reid. Now, he's a Sunderland legend. And they're literally taking the mick out of him behind their own bar because Newcastle fans are going to be in there. I just find it absolutely mental. And then you obviously get this one as well. I just love it. It's brilliant. Now crazy. Stop hitting the stadium black and white. But John...
Well, the funny thing is...
I can't believe it.
They all had a meltdown. I mean, they had a big meltdown. And I was thinking...
you would, though. I would have. If that was St James's Park, I would have had a meltdown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just wild to me. It's like we know what their kryptonite is now. It's right here.
Yeah.
Just take these to Sunderland. Put them everywhere.
That's crazy, man. And whoever did it, he needs a pay raise.
It was the owners, apparently. The owners did decorate the stadium.
That's crazy.
It's mental. It is absolutely mental. The Sunderland fan went on TalkSport or BBC Sport or something like that, said that whoever's decided on this needs to be sacked. It could have been their own bloody owner.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It could have been, it could have been club to club because they had an agreement to expand the amount of seats for Newcastle fans, bring it up to 6,000. And here's a couple of extra things. Why don't you take all your stuff down? And, so who knows what the negotiation was, but yeah, just comical.
It's just ridiculous. Yeah.
I don't. If we had an agreement with Sunderland for them getting extra tickets and then we rolled out the red carpet like that,
nah.
Nah.
That's
One Sunderland fan has said as soon as this game's finished, he's handed his season ticket back in. That's how disgusted he is of what's happened. Now that's the kind of fume I would have as well. Almost, I don't think I would give my season ticket away.
This is a fierce rivalry, man, that most people don't talk about. Really,
exactly.
One thing, just to prove that, I had my shows in my backgrounds. I had a River Plate shirt that it was red and white, but it was just there. I was doing the show, and so a Newcastle fan was getting on to me. Take that shirt down. Take that shirt down. I don't care if it's not a Sunderland shirt. And I was like, that's a fair point. So
you don't put red and white anywhere.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I have to ask the two of you: is this going to be your first taste of a derby? It's been that long. 2017 was the last one.
It would be the first time I've seen a whole match. Yeah, I've caught little bits, tapes, and all that stuff, highlights and all that, but I never watched a whole match.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah. For me, it would be the first time that I'm like fully invested in what is Newcastle and doing content creation. Yeah, it would be the first one. It's been so long though. You know what I mean? I thought it was 2016 the last time we played them.
So 8 years.
Because it was a 1-1, right?
It was 1-1. Yeah, it was Mitrovic scored the equalizer.
Yeah, it was actually March 2016. And the last time we beat them was
Rafa was the one who stopped the rot.
Yeah, the last time we beat them was 2011.
Yeah,
man, that is crazy. They gave us a good beat down for a long time. So, hey, but my question is though, what does it mean for Eddie Howe? It's going to be the first one ever for him. What does it mean for these players? Probably the first one ever for all of them. More than likely.
Well, we'll come on to Eddie Howe soon.
Yeah.
We're not quite there yet. I want to ask you about Eddie Howe and about the players and stuff like that. But we're going to jump to this bit of news first. And basically, we're going to be wearing black and white, which is a mint. I love that fact that we've said we're wearing our home top. You're wearing red and white. We're wearing black and white. And that's how the game should look. I don't know if you guys know this. Normally, even though they're wearing red and white, we would normally wear an away strip because we're away. I think the last time, I can't remember the last time we wore black and white at Stadium of Light, to be honest with you. Maybe when Ryan Taylor scored over the wall. That was a great one. But that's good news to me. I mean, are you happy that we're going to be playing in black and white?
Oh, yeah. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
That's all the shirts I have are black and white.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'd love to see it too. But so the shorts, are the shorts going to be different?
Just white.
White, I think.
When they would be white, right? Yeah. That would be different too. I haven't seen that since probably that match, Sunderland, Newcastle at Sunderland as well, from Alan Shearer. Maybe it was his last derby or something like that I can remember. So, yeah.
It was the last game he ever played in.
Okay, yeah.
And that was when we beat them 4-1. We were 1-0 down at half-time. We were playing shite. And the second half kicked off. And then we made a substitution when we got a free kick on the half, just in our own half. And we brought Chopper on. And we literally launched the ball into the box. And within 8 seconds of being on the pitch, he scored. A minute 1-1. And then we went on to win that game 4-1. Albert Luque wrapped it up. Win it. Probably what, give a dog a bone, didn't it? Stop singing, Barry. But Shearer scored a penalty, and it was the last time he ever kicked a ball because he got absolutely crunched by Catamol, I think it was, and he popped his knee back out again, and that was it. End of his career. But he said that's if there was a way to go out, that was the way to go out.
Yeah.
Scoring his last goal against Sunderland. So talking about obviously games against Sunderland, the games you've seen on video, what was the best game you can remember, John, that you've watched on a video?
It might have been the one you just mentioned. It started out 1-0 and then we won 4-1. Is that the one?
That same one. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, it was because they were singing a song about it. It was like,
Yeah,
down 1-0.
Yeah, it was
that
1-0 down, 4-1 up.
Yeah.
Albert Luke wrapped it up with a knick-knack paddywhack, give it a go.
Yeah, that's my
That's
favorite.
good.
I've seen other.
We're wearing the Champions League kit apparently.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
So it's black and white, but the Champions League version of it.
Okay.
I like that.
Well, for me, yeah. I mean, that's the one that I actually watched live, so I remember that one. But the one that I really enjoy, because I was a little kid during that time, but I did watch it as well. I have flashback is when Solana scored penalty. It was a 1-0 in 2003, I believe. And he's my guy, so yeah.
Yeah, you like Nobby, don't you? You're a big fan of him.
Yeah, yeah.
You criticised me massively for not putting them in my five-a-side team or best team
Yeah,
or whatever
man.
it was. I remember that one. Sorry, there's a Mackham commenting on my earlier show. It's quite funny. I'm going to read the conversation out and see what you guys think of it. I think I've handled it quite well considering it's a Mackham commenting. So, but obviously the look ahead show, I was talking about how we're finally going to beat them. He says he put after 9 attempts, laugh out loud. So I put people only talk about the last one, which was a draw. And then he put when you drew and celebrated like you won the Champions League. So I responded, at least we know what it's like to play in it. Then he put, that's nice. So I put, I know, with a thumbs up. And now he's just put, how did that work out? With a question mark. So I've put, loved it. We beat PSG.
Yeah. Yeah, we beat them twice, but we got ripped off once.
Yeah.
Damn right we did. Damn right we did. Oh, that was awesome. And wearing the Champions League kit. Brilliant. Tom's gone 2-1 with Isak and Gordon to score. Is that it? Honestly, right. Let's think about the game itself. And I don't know how long. Where is it? Where is that comment before? This one here. I mean, the turnover is 10% of ours. It's seriously a rival. It ain't. Newcastle and Sunderland's always been a rival because of how close we are together.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's gone back years and years and years. It doesn't matter about money. It doesn't matter about how much we earn, how much they earn, how much our squad cost 350 million, I think it was, and theirs only cost 17.5 million. But when it comes to the FA Cup, form goes out the window.
Yeah.
When it's a derby, form goes out the window, and our form's crap. Let's face it.
That is true.
They're coming off the back of a 2-0 win against Preston at home, and Preston are normally quite a decent team. Are we going to go full strength, Chris? Are we literally going to everyone fit? We're playing full strength.
Well, the thing is, when you're tired, you're tired. Doesn't matter who you play. I mean, it's about you, and we do have that going on right now: fatigue and injuries, of course. And I'm not necessarily blaming our form on that specifically, but it is part of it. And so that's just the biggest concern. Look, I mean, I think we need to not just because of Sunderland, of course. That is a big thing, but because of the tournament in itself. I mean, we've proven that we can go far in a cup type tournament. So why not? I mean, you know what I mean? We were closer in the Carabao Cup, not as close as last year, but
should have been
close to beating Chelsea. So you know what I mean. Listen, why not? It looks like the Premier League is getting farther and farther away, and so maybe it could be a nice objective. Beating Sunderland, that could be positive mentally for the team, and so yeah, I think you got to go full force. I mean, or the best that you can. So the last match against Liverpool, I was looking at the bench and I was like, man, I don't even know who I would bring in. Let alone because to be fair, and not to be negative against a lot of the lads, they're just young players, and so it's nothing against them, but we're just very depleted, at the moment. So, but yeah, we got to go with the best that we got, 100%.
So let's just say everyone's fit, including Trippier, because we don't really know what's going on with Trippier, John. Some people say he's got a groin injury. Some people say the groin injury is something to mask over the personal problems he's had. I reckon he's got a groin injury because he's consoled with his misses again. So that's another reason why he could have a groin injury. Just been rubbing it a little bit too much. But does Tripp come back in if he is fully fit? I mean, he's our captain. Yeah. He's a leader at the back. We saw how disjointed we were against Liverpool when he's missing. We saw how tight we were against Chelsea, even though he made that mistake. We weren't conceding chances. So do we bring Tripps back in, or do you think he still needs to rest?
I don't feel
it's a tough
like
one, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I don't feel like it's a big step down when Livermento's in there. When Tino's in there, I feel like he's doing good. And that's what you need, is a guy that you can plug in and save the other guy, save Trippier, make sure he's 100% before he gets back out there. So either way it goes, if they put Trippier out there, I'll feel good, sort of like what Chris is saying, hey, we're giving it our all. We need this win. But if they put Tino in there, that's fine too. I'm fine. I think Eddie will look at.
I'm just thinking Tino will play left back. That's what I'm thinking. Tino's going to play left back, Tripp's right back. Because if Tino plays right back, who's going to play left back? I mean, Dan Burn, does he need pulling out of the team? That's the thing.
Yeah.
I would tell you, if Trippier is fit, 100% or 98, I think he should be playing. And then Livermento on the left side, because it doesn't seem like Eddie Howe is trusting Lewis Hall much. So that's fine. I guess you can just put. Yeah, you're back. You're back.
Yeah, something's going wrong with my internet today. I don't know what it is.
It's a Mac.
It says I've got full bars and everything, and then I get kicked out.
Yeah,
my own show.
Yeah, but yeah, I was saying that if Trippier is 98%, he should be playing, because Livermento on the left side, we need somebody there, man. I'm not really sure about Sunderland's right forward or right winger. If because we saw against Nottingham Forest, Elanga was really, Dan Burn had a full day that day, and then also against Salah and then all those guys. So I think that maybe he could get a rest and have Livermento on that side if Trippier is 100%, but just don't know yet.
Yeah, you see what Lee just commented on down there?
Yeah, Lee's gone. Livermento, Lascelles, Burn, and Hall. I mean, that's a risk.
Well,
he's not going to put Hall, right? I mean,
I don't know. I have no idea what Sunderland's going to look like against us at this point. But I would trust those four. I know that's not the big guns. Everybody wants.
Why wouldn't Botman play?
Well, because it's against lower opposition, and give him a rest to make sure his knee doesn't flare up again. I guess. I think
he's been out for a while. He's been out for a while, though. I mean, listen. I think that if you put those four right there, if something goes wrong, then I think Eddie
Howe's chop and block sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, Chris has a point right there, because I think Eddie. There's been times when everybody was wanting people to go in for subs, and he didn't do it because it seemed like he was so fearful. If I put this guy in and he fails, oh my God, it's on me. It's So I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that, and he hasn't used his bench as well as what some people would like him to do.
Earlier, yeah.
When the games were tighter, we were thinking, look, you've got to rest this person. You've got to bring Hall on. We've spent 30 million on him, trust him, and all this sort of stuff, and he doesn't. And then we don't know what's happening on the training pitch, do we?
Right.
Sunderland are crap on a normal day. 3-0 sounds normal. 3-1 sounds like a good punt.
Yeah.
Dan Burn, Botman, Shaw, Tripps is what Ian would do. I worry about Dan Burn a little bit. I think he needs a rest himself. I think he needs a rest more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he can get. Listen, playing left back is no joke. And if you're 6'7", I mean, that's a lot of physicality. And you've seen that. We've all seen. He's been one of the most criticized players these past 2-3 games because who he's been defending. And it's kind of unfair, really, though, to put him in. Again, I don't know who the right winger would be for, or right back would be for Sunderland, but if Eddie Howe knows, I'm sure, and if they're really fast and agile, I would hate to see Byrne be put in that situation because he's not going to give up. He's not. He's going to be there the whole game trying to give his all. But it's about making the right decision. I think Livramento would be ideal.
I mean, he is right. He is a local lad, Dan Byrne. He won't want to miss this game.
Sure.
From Blythe and everything. This is like massive game, and he will give everything. But he does every game anyway. It's just whether he's fit enough, because he did say himself on camera, he might have come back a little bit too early from his back injury. So it's an interesting one. Had timeouts we could use easily.
I hope it's an easy 90 minutes.
Just remember he kept them very quiet, and he did, and that was a different night. That though, it's going to be so interesting.
To be fair though, I mean, other than it being Sunderland, and that might help Sunderland fuel up for to get some energy and some footballs from somewhere. But if you really look at them on the table in the championship, they're not doing well, right? So, other than it being a derby, which is a big deal, I don't really think I don't fear them football wise. I mean, they're almost 20 points away from the top. So,
it's a very valid point.
So,
I'll tell you who I wouldn't mind seeing on the bench. I wouldn't mind seeing Shola Amiobi on a derby day. The Mackham Slayer that he is. I mean, every time we were down and out, I remember he scored a penalty. Was it a penalty? No, it wasn't. It was a last-minute goal at the back post. Came on when we were 1-0 down. When we beat them 5-1, he scored a brace in that game as well. He just loved scoring against Sunderland because he was a local lad. He just found an extra gear.
If Shoulder's not going to play, the least they could do is dress him up like he was and stand next to Tyndall. Just psych him out.
Yeah. You should just wear the full kit and pretend that you can come on. He's on the bench. It's like we're warming the Mackham Slayer up against you. Do you play Botman, Bruno, Isaac? Well, that is the spine of our team, isn't it? I mean, that's what we're building around there. And then you can put probably Gordon in there as well. He's a young lad that we're building around. And then you've got Tino at right back as another young lad. I mean, we are developing such a very good team. It's just taking a while.
I think Joe Linton could be the new Mackham Slayer.
Yes, I would love that. But he'd be slaying them in midfield, absolutely crunching them all over the place.
He looks just like it too, like he would. I mean, yeah.
Are we worried about Bruno and Joe Linton's temperament in this game? Really hope a red card doesn't spoil the game.
That's a great comment. I was gonna bring this up because I was looking at the previous matches since 2011 to now. A lot of those matches, Newcastle ended up with a red card. I don't know specifically who, but yeah, in 3 of those matches at least. So that's one thing. We got to stay with 11, man.
Yeah, they might be.
I do worry about them a little bit. Yeah, go on, John.
And listen, that could be Sunderland's tactic too.
Right.
It will be.
Right.
Yeah.
They'll try and.
They said they're going to target Bruno. They said they're going to target Gordon. Yeah. They're the two people who can. I mean, Joe Linton loses his head more than anyone. To be fair, Eddie Howe's got to install it into them. We keep 11 on the pitch. We win this game comfortably. You've got to embrace the first 5-10 minutes because Sunderland will just come at us, and if we can stop that and quiet it down, keep a hold of the ball, and hopefully score early on, their heads will go down. Especially the fans. The fans will be thinking the worst if we score early.
Yeah, we need that. That would be great. Score early. That's kind of the key to our season.
Well, it is, yeah. I mean, we've got a few records we need to put straight as well. I've mentioned this on the last show. Sunderland have the highest scoring victory in a derby, 9-1.
Ooh.
Ours is 6-1.
When was that?
It was in 1928, I think it was. It was a long time ago.
I think we were at our peak by that time, though. That's crazy.
I'll have to find it. There's some interesting stats. Obviously, if you haven't seen the show that I did before, I'll quickly bring them back up again. 1908 it was, 1908, 5th of December. 1920 is when we beat them 6-1. in October when I was born. Newcastle have beaten Sunderland, in the league we call it, they're doing the double over them, beating them twice home and away. We've done it 9 times, Sunderland have done it 7 times, so we've got the up on that one. But the head-to-heads, it's actually closer than what people think. I always thought, because when I was growing up, we used to just batter Sunderland every week until the 6 in a row crap happened. But the head-to-heads recently, I'm sure we're even. Since the Premier League kicked off. So it's actually a little bit closer than what people make it out. Like I say, form goes out the window. Talent goes out the window sometimes in these games. Sometimes it's who wants it the most.
Right.
I was 17.
Wow, that's crazy.
Thanks,
yeah.
Been watching Sunderland quite a lot. If you man mark Clark, they have no threat. Clark is the big one. He's their big player. Now, I think Clark can put himself in the window for a Premier League move next season because I don't think he'll stay at Sunderland if they don't go up. So we've got to watch him very carefully. Do we play Karius or Dubs? That's a good question from you, and it's one that I've been pondering because someone else mentioned it earlier in the chat and I didn't get a chance to answer to it. I would carry on with Dubs because he's getting into a run of games now where he's starting to look a bit more like himself again. And if you take him out of this one, you're kind of saying you don't trust him because this is a huge game. It's a huge game, isn't it, John?
I thought he had some really good saves in that last game. I mean,
loads. It should have been 8-0.
Yeah.
Ooh, do you start with Miggy on the right or switch Gordon to the right and Joe Linton on the left and Miley in midfield? This is a question that was asked on our last show. Chris, I'll leave that one to you.
The best game I've seen Almiron play for Newcastle this year was when he played on the left side against Manchester United. I believe.
I thought his best game was against PSG when he played on the right side and scored.
But it just made me think, like, why not try him on that side? As you know that on the right side he's been, little ups and downs in his performances. And so, but I don't even know if I would start him, to be honest with you.
Well, that's the question: is do you start him or not? But then you've got to think about the whole midfield and the dynamic of it. So if you drop Miggy, you're putting Gordon on the right wing, Joe Linton on the left wing, and then you're playing Bruno, Longstaff, and Miley in midfield. If you play Miggy, you play Miggy on the right, Gordon on the left, Joe Linton, Bruno, and Sean Longstaff in the midfield three. And I know Miley drops out, and that's a shame for him. But I think we need older heads, bit more physical players to dominate that midfield. And then Miley can come on and maybe when the game's a bit more stretched, can be a bit more dangerous. That's the way I would see it.
Yeah, I think Joe Linton needs to be in the middle, to be honest with you.
I do. So that means you've got to play Miggy, really, because there's nobody else who could play on the right wing at the moment. And there's no one on the left wing if it's not Joe Linton. This is how stretched we are. It does my head in. Willick, come back. We need you.
Oh man.
He's the one we're missing.
Yes, and Murphy.
Yeah.
Murphy's a miss as well now. He's still, when's Murphy? But we don't know because he had surgery on his shoulder, didn't he? So he could be out for at least 3 months, is it, for dislocated shoulder surgery?
It's been a month and a half maybe since he's been gone.
When did he have it though? It's like a month ago or
about a month and a half,
Yeah. So he's halfway there maybe.
So March, if we're lucky.
Yeah.
So but Willock's the big one for me. Apparently Willock could be back, and I don't know if this is right or wrong, but he could be back at the end of January. The problem with that though is you've still got to get them up to speed, haven't you?
Right. And we've thrown guys in there before they're up to speed. I mean, Dan Burns, one of them. Not quite 100% when we put them back out there. So.
Yes, the transfer window is open. Right, let's get your score predictions, and then we'll talk a little bit about transfers and see what you guys think. So, John, what do you think the score is going to be on Saturday?
I think we'll beat them 3-1.
3-1.
3-1.
Yeah, I think 3-0.
3-0.
Yeah,
I like that one better.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear my wild prediction?
Go ahead.
Now, normally I'm very sensible, John. You know me. I am
Yeah.
normally very sensible, down to earth. Don't go wild with predictions, but I think we're going to beat them 7-1.
Oh my
7-1.
God, that would be
Yeah.
crazy.
I thought you were going to say like 4-0 or 5-0. 7-1.
No, 7-1. That's what I'm going for.
Well, Boz, I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
Me too.
And that place will empty out.
It'll empty out as soon as it gets to 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Murphy's down for the 31st of January, apparently, for a return.
Oh, wow.
He has a lot of scores coming in. 3-0 is Harvey Barnes, the new Marcelino. Oh, God, no, please don't say that. 3-1, 7-0, 4-2, 3-1, 3-1, 4-0. So everyone's very confident we're going to win the game.
Hey, speaking of
which
Barnes,
is good to see.
Speaking of Barnes, when's he going to be back?
He's meant to be the end of January as well. Whether that's right or wrong, because he keeps having setbacks all the time.
Yeah, because if he was on that other side, then Gordon could take the right, you know?
Oh,
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Lee asked this on the last show and didn't get a chance to talk about it. Yes, I have heard about Somerville. I've tweeted it out saying this is a player that I really like the look of. I watched him when he broke through at Leeds in the Premier League, and I was very impressed straight away with him. His pace, he's got eye for a goal. He's very strong on the ball as well. He's not one of these lightweight players. He looks like an intelligent player. Chris, would you agree? Would Somerville improve Newcastle and play on the right-hand side instead of Miggy?
Well, I mean, we need players. You know what I mean? We need players, and that's not necessarily because of that we have bad players. It's just that we don't have players available. So
the only thing I don't like about that is we need players. It's you've got to be very careful, because if you just start buying players for the sake of it, you're not improving your team or your squad. So we need the right players, I think, is quality the right way to go about. Yeah, quality, yeah. So I mean, would you class Somerville as quality or not?
To be honest, I mean, 12 goals. I'm looking at his stats this year. 12 goals, 6 assists, 5 yellow cards. But I mean, you know,
18 goal involvements. I like him. I do like Somerville.
I like it. Look, I mean, you know, he would be somebody to have, of course, on the lineup and give him a shot. I mean, you give it. The thing is, the reason why Almiron plays so much is because he's the only one there. So,
you know, there's nobody pushing him.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's the main thing. You know, and maybe having him would be positive. And so, yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I like him. What about you, John? Have you seen much of Somerville?
I haven't, but that is one of the positions that we need to have a backup. You know, we need another guy there. And
I think we now need the next level. I think we need to buy someone who comes in over Miggy. I mean, I love Miggy. Everyone knows that.
Sure.
You love him because what he did in America was amazing.
Yeah.
But he's 29 now. He hasn't hit the heights of last season. He hasn't had that purple patch at all. Yeah. He's still integral to the tactics and how we create the space for Trippier. But it's time now to find, a player who can now come in and start assisting, start scoring goals. That's what we need. We need the next level now. Yes. I don't know if Somerville is that. I like him.
Yeah.
He looks like a promise. You know what I mean? More than anything. Yeah. Like somebody that we can definitely put time into, work him, and see what he develops. But yeah, I do agree 100%. I think we need that next level type players. And it's tough too, because who are these players? You know what I mean? Yeah, but I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are out there that would come to Newcastle. Kind of Tonali would have been one of those, and he is, but he just has to play at some point. And so just players like that. I think that we need those 100%.
Yeah, I think we did really good last year. It's just that we've just been killed with injuries and the Tonali situation. But they brought in good players over the summer. So.
Right. Yeah, they have. I mean, there's some good rumors coming in here now. Ian says someone's mentioned that Grazie has agreed personal terms. I've not heard that, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing.
It's right or wrong, but I would like him. I would like him, John, because he's the guy who's second to Harry Kane in the German league, scoring goals. He's got a 17 million euro release clause. it's got to be worth a shot at that price. I mean, if we're
With
struggling with FFP, that is unreal.
with a team like Stuttgart, so you know what I mean. It's not a team that really produces a lot. So yeah, I do agree with that. That would be another one.
That'd be great. I want to hear more of that over the coming days. Is personal terms agreed to?
I want to hear from the right people, though.
3 or 4 people coming in.
I wish. Netherlands says Elise is the man. Yes, I agree with that, but his release clause is 60 or 70 million, and it has to be paid in full. So that's a deal that would really be struggling with our FFP, because we would want to stagnate payments to, keep inside the boundaries. And I don't think we might have 70 million to splash out, but it depends on where we're splashing that 70 million out. And I like Elise. I just think he's 2 years down the line for us, maybe, and someone else will end up getting there before us. I heard rumours about Brahim Diaz. That rumour's been going around for the last 2 windows, to be honest with you. I don't think he's someone we would sign. Mahrez on loan from Saudi Arabia. Now, I like the sounds of this, because Mahrez for 6 months, I think, would be brilliant on the right wing for us, John.
I'll take it.
Oh yeah,
like you said, that's
take it.
That's one of the positions we really need to focus on.
There's another player in Saudi Arabia that is a great option, and it's Jota, who used to play for Celtic. Now he can't even play for the team that he's at because they've got too many foreign players. So he's literally picking up a wage doing nothing.
Oh man,
get him on loan.
Yeah,
surely that's an easy loan to do.
Hey, young too, 24 years. I mean,
Ian says, I believe Phillips is done. David from Lille mentioned great for David. Yeah, David would be brilliant. Jonathan David, I think that is. Phillips, my contact at Manchester City, he's got his own channel and he tells me stuff that's going on. He says Phillips isn't even close yet at the moment. So it'll be interesting if it is, but I've got information from a Man City fan who knows a lot about his club, and he says that Phillips might want a new start abroad. But I think Bayern Munich are in for him as well. So all depends who pays the fee. If they want £5 or £7 million for that loan fee. So what about Fulham's Robinson as a left back? He is very good. I do like him, but do we need a left back? Is Lewis going to be good enough? Lewis Hall?
I think we do. I think we need a left back, because I mean, you can tell the manager it's not 100% sure about him. I mean, you can tell. And
I think he just wants more time with him. I think that's what he wants. He's done this with other players.
That could be. So
I wouldn't touch Dybala, to be honest with you. I think he's had his chance, and I think it's gone. I think he needs to stay in the Italian league, to be completely honest with you. Tony back, we would get a discount from his sell-on 100 million bargain. I would say no. I would rather Tony. No. Basically, what it is
we get 10%.
We've got a sell-on clause. So I would rather you went somewhere and we get that sell-on clause money, and then that boosts our FFP up, and we can go and find someone different. I'm not a fan of Tony, John. I don't know. He scores a lot of penalties, and he is a good player, but he's been missing for, what is it now, 8 months?
Man.
Yeah.
I just don't. I wouldn't want to take a risk on him.
Yeah.
Nah.
I might regret saying that, because you'll probably go to Arsenal and then probably win them the title next year or something like that. But I just, not for me. What?
That don't make sense.
Firmino's going to Sheffield United? No.
He'll come to Newcastle in a heartbeat.
I said that 3 days ago on Twitter. He was a player I would get on loan from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
I can't believe he's going to Sheffield United. He would be perfect for us. That stunned me. If that's true. I know most people would think it's underwhelming, but would you take Godfrey? Only 25. I would say a centre-back for Everton. He sits on the bench. Not for me. If he's not good enough to get into the Everton team, I don't see the point in. I don't know if Eddie would do. I don't know. I'm a no on that one, just because of how far down the pecking order he is at Everton. I think that would be a bit of a strange move for us. But you've seen what Eddie's done with the Lascelles, though, I suppose. Juve sporting director said not getting any players in this window. Very interesting. But it's Bayern Munich where Phillips could be going. So can only see loans this window, permanent deals in the summer. I think we will go big in the summer, but I still think we've got a deal up our sleeves if we need to. Yeah, now we're talking. Rafael Leao, forward from AC Milan, looked decent when he played against us. He's very good, Tom. He's brilliant. But there's a few other Italian players that are brilliant as well. So Kasper Schmeichel is going to Sheffield United apparently as well. Oof, Sheffield United making moves.
Wow.
I thought he might be someone we were linked with him apparently. Oh, here's the big one, right? I'm a no on this one. I know the lad's very talented. He is very talented, but his attitude stinks. John, Sancho from Man United, yes or no for you?
No.
Yeah. No, don't like him. What about you, Chris?
I would just say no. I'm not 100% hard no, but I would just say no. I mean, so basically,
could Eddie sort that attitude out, do you think? Or
well, because the only
player?
reason I say that is because I think it was Ten Hag's fault as well. So I think when it just doesn't work, it doesn't work. So maybe with Eddie could maybe work something out, but I mean that's a gamble. So I would say no at this moment.
Yeah. It is a gamble, and it's a gamble that could backfire and then really put Eddie under pressure. But he doesn't need that right now. Yin says defo not. Also did. There we go. I don't blame him. Let's talk about Eddie Howe very briefly. If he loses on Saturday, Chris, is he susceptible to the chop? Or I'm not going to say what I think yet, but what do you think the owners will do if he gets beat on Saturday? They're going to stick with him, or do you think he's in trouble?
I think we must hold on. Hey, listen, I watched football for a long time, and I know that everything leading up to a possible loss Saturday, counting the last couple of months, is it could make a team sack a manager. That is just the bottom line. We watched football for a long time. We know how this works. But I think that if you just got to let the season finish. We still got the FA Cup to worry about. We still have Premier League to see where we finish, and if that's the decision that needs to be made, accounting a loss against Sunderland, and also the elimination from the FA Cup, you got those two things. You just need to see and make the right decision at the end of the season, not in the heat of the moment. I don't think it would be wise to do that.
Yeah, I agree. John,
I would be terribly disappointed if they got rid of him. I'd be very disappointed because he helped build something. He had some good ideas when they really desperately needed a change. They brought him in and he worked magic. Now, it just seemed like we were going to have a tougher year this year anyway. And then you saw all the draw that we got with with the Carabao Cup as well as Champions League. We got tough draws, and we had game after game. And we were set up for a letdown. And so I think we all need to stick with him. Even if we lose this game, you stick with him. And Chris was right, stick through the whole season and then push back and evaluate things. But I would still be disappointed if they let him go at the end of the year too. That's just me. I think we're building something. We changed the culture, and I guess what our fear is right now is we're slipping back a little bit into, oh, woe is me. And as soon as the first goal gets scored, we all hang our heads. It's like we got to get going again.
Apparently, we're being linked with the general manager in Spain. Obviously, they're flying this year with all the loan players they've got from Man City. But I think Fergus hits it on the nail on the head here. Howe is safe, plenty in the bank, and owners who want long term, not a quick fix. I think you're absolutely right. If you look at the form at the start of the season, we had those tough games. We got them out of the way. Then we went on a run. And then injuries just kept on coming and coming and coming and coming. And it just absolutely destroyed everything that Eddie Howe built, really, in a way. Intensity is our identity. You can't play intensity football for 90 minutes like we could have done when you haven't got the players to come on and strengthen the squad again and strengthen the first 11. So
well, even after all that, even after all that, I came over. I met with you, Baz. We went to a game. We had 2 weeks rest, because we had that break, right? International break. So we had a nice break, and we came back and we slammed Chelsea, and we took it to Man United, and we won 2 games right there.
Yeah.
And then, the game started coming, and it was like the injuries came, and it was just tough. So what we're capable of, and we just got to get back into that. And this is a good opportunity. This weekend is a good opportunity to get back.
Definitely.
Just get a wind under your belt and then face the next match.
Yeah. And Ian says it quite well. Our owners are not Watford. The season was always going to be hard. Injuries and everything back in. And let's face it, everyone just needs to go back and watch the documentary again on Amazon. They said there will be a big drop-off. And we're now seeing it because of the small squad, all the injuries, the campaigns that we've been in, the tough games we've had to go through. I mean, we left everything on the pitch against Paris Saint-Germain twice, AC Milan twice, Dortmund twice. Then you had Chelsea, Man United, as you mentioned, in between that as well. It's just, I can't praise Eddie Howe enough. And I just think some people just see the run of form and think, oh, yeah, sack the manager, and then it'll just magically get better. Football doesn't work like that. They've got a project, and they're sticking to it, and they want Eddie Howe as the long-term success of that project. So he's definitely safe. I think if he starts next season badly, and let's just say we go on a run of 10 games where we get like 5 points or something like that, I think he'll be in trouble.
Yeah.
Especially if he's backed. And if he's backed in the summer and it doesn't produce, I think there'll be issues.
Yeah.
But we've still got the rest of the season to look forward to. We've got the next round, and we've got something else to look forward to. We've got so much to look forward to as a Newcastle fan now. Everyone's just got to remember what we went through.
Right.
I think there was another opposition fan said it perfectly. He says, you've just been through 17 years of crap. And after this tiny little blip, you want rid of your manager already.
Right.
It's like, do you know what I mean?
I saw that.
This is other fans telling us to stop being idiots. Win on Saturday. They're not sure when our next win will be unless we get players back from injury and a few signings in. I know we've got Man City at home, then we've got Villa away.
Yeah.
2 big daunting games.
I keep telling people, wait till February, because these games are now spaced apart a week at a time. We have a little chance to heal, and the games get a little more favorable in February. Just be patient.
It's a tough question from me, this one. Does Eddie Howe have the pull of certain players? I think the club does, and I think the project does, and then money will obviously get involved in all that. And I think Eddie Howe is now starting to get recognition from the right places. He could be your Alex Ferguson. He really could be. Mm-hmm. You just got to give him time to do it. Yes, we all think we're going to win on Saturday. We all think we're going to win. Lads, where do you think we'll... Right, last question, and then we're going to have to go. Lads, where do you think we're going to finish this season, basically? So, John, where do you think we're going to finish up?
Like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Just based on what's going on right now, yeah.
I tend to agree, Chris.
I would say, I would hope to shoot for 6th, maybe, so we can have a little bit of European football, some type, I guess. But that would be ideal at this point.
Yeah, I think we could finish anything between 7th and 10th, depending on how we cope with the next 2 games in the league going into the next fixtures. Can we pick ourselves up and start winning games after potentially a big drop off? I think that's going to be the most important thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we could finish anywhere between 5th and 10th. But it's
you're probably right.
Because you look at how competitive the whole league is right now. I mean, like from 12 up or something like that. It's like there's teams in there you don't want to face, and there's other teams that the way we play, sometimes we can pick off a Man United or an Arsenal or but there's other teams that is like, I don't want to face Brighton. I don't want to face, Even Wolves looked good the other day.
Yeah, Wolves are starting to look very good. They started scoring goals.
And Everton's pretty darn good. It's scary, and I hate it, but they're pretty darn good too.
Lee, I'm going to tell you why European football isn't the be-all to end-all. Now, I've had this conversation with quite a few people, and people are saying, I'm mad, we shouldn't be turning our noses up at any European football. However, I do not want to be in the Europa Conference League, because that is a league for me where it's another Carabao Cup competition for me. If we can get into the Europa League, which is the one where Liverpool's in now, that's a better competition, and players will be interested to come into the club because we're playing in that kind of European competition. And if you win that one, you can get into the Champions League. So if we're going to finish anywhere, it's got to be in those competitions, not in this Conference League, because I think that's just a dead rubber thing on a Thursday night, and I think that will hinder us next season. Now, the reason why I say it's not the be-all to end-all, look at what we did last season. We had no European football. We still attracted Isak, Botman, Bruno, remember, Trippier. All these players came to Newcastle with no European football in the hopes that the project will work. The project didn't have us finishing in the Champions League spot last season. It probably has us finishing a Champions League spot in 4 years' time from when they started. So that would be... This is the third season they're going into next season, so the season next time. So for me, if we can attack the summer by 2 free quality players on top of whatever we do in January, which I think we'll get one potential major signing and then maybe a couple of loans, I think next season with no European football, we could easily finish in the top 4 again, because we won't have the consistency of games all the time. Eddie can get his team fit. We won't have the distractions. We won't have the drop-off like you're going to see Villa have soon. They're going to have a drop-off, because they won't be used to all these European games. West Ham will also have a drop-off at some point because they've got too many games coming up. I honestly think no European football this year actually helps us next year. Do you guys agree or disagree?
Yeah, actually, you changed my mind. I don't care about the cup anymore, because you are right. I mean, it has no not really a meaning to it, even if you win it, which is crazy.
Yeah. Well, West Ham won it, and it was great for them. But how many people are actually talking about West Ham winning the Conference League this season? No one's really talking about it, because it wasn't that. It was a success for them and their fans. It was great. But you hear people about winning the Champions League and about winning the Europa League. Even the Europa League, you don't really hear about it that much, because Sevilla normally win it every year, or Villarreal. So for me, I wouldn't mind the Europa League, but I do not want the Conference League.
Yeah, you definitely see what happens with a crowded fixture calendar like we had this year. It just battered us. So yeah, you could be onto something.
Yeah, straight red cards, I think, do go over into the league. Leslie, I'm sure they do. New Adidas deal comes in as well. Exactly, the new Adidas deal comes in. There's more money available.
You know what we need to do? Hey, we need to front load that Adidas deal. Give us the money right up front. Because
they probably will.
Yeah, they better.
There's a very good chance they will. There'll be a deal in place, but it doesn't kick in until the summer, I think, because obviously we can't do anything about the sponsorship on the shirts until then. There's a question for you, John. What time approximately will Sunderland game be on TV in the States? Early kickoff here.
It's 6:45 in the morning.
That's not too bad.
It's too early. I'll be there.
Early.
If you're retired, it's early.
I get up at 4.
Yeah.
So I'll be there, but I can't sit around with a friend or anything and enjoy it. I'll be at home.
Yeah. Right. It's a good one for people in Australia because it'll be afternoon kickoff for them. No, it'll be midnight. It'll be midnight, won't it? It'll be 1:45 in the morning for them.
Oh, really?
Roughly. So that's not too bad.
They deserve a good time.
They do. Financially helps league and domestic cups. It hinders. Does it really? Does the Europa League I just don't think it does. Yeah, no problem, Craig. I'm ending the show now anyway because we've been on over an hour. So thank you so much for coming on, Chris. Where can we find you?
Well, you can just YouTube the American Magpie. I'm like,
American Magpie,
having content over there. So yeah, man, I appreciate everybody, and of course you, Baz, having me on, man. Thank you, brother.
No, thanks for coming back on again. Obviously, we wanted you on so you could, make amends for being in the car last time.
Yeah. It wasn't that good.
Yeah, we got some good scenery in that, but we couldn't hear you very much, and it kept breaking up.
If you travel throughout the southern part of the United States, there's no good signal at all.
Yeah, that was.
I'm glad we got you sitting at home and being able to answer everything tonight. It's been great. Thank you so much for it, John. As always, amazing. We'll have to come back to that one, Mickey. We've done all the scores. 7-1 me. I think you both went 3-1. I'm going 7-1. So yeah. But thanks for tuning in. Don't forget about our amazing sponsors, Diet Crow, an amazing company in America, a little family-run company. They ship all over the world. They've got some great their own designs of Newcastle takes on T-shirts. 20% off for everybody who watches this channel. So link is in the description. And also Football Prizes, an amazing new sponsor that we've got. They do raffles for amazing Newcastle stuff that you won't be able to get your hands on normally. They've just done one for hospitality tickets for the Man City game. They've got a Joe Linton signed shirt and loads of other prizes waiting. Tickets are normally about $3.95. There's about 199 tickets to buy for this one, so get yourselves on that. But thanks for tuning in, everyone. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, John, for coming on. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you again soon. And let's smash the Mackhams. Come on.
Yes, sir.